Good Monday morning, you guys. Oh my gosh, it is November. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I'm just like, holy crap, I can't believe it's already November and Thanksgiving's like
Good Monday
3 weeks
morning,
away.
you guys.
So
oh
it's
my
a crazy
gosh,
time. Yes, I know. Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay, I know Russell just can't stand.
Aimee has a doppelganger, and it's in the.
Oh yes.
You would
No, when I
think
go-
Aimee would be sharp enough, since she's Miss Tech expert, that she wouldn't screw stuff like that up. But I'm not
That's
judging.
not even
Monday.
true.
I don't
I was
judge
going
people.
live. Oh, you guys, welcome to Author Talk, everybody. Oh my gosh, Russell is just diving in early this
I'm not
minute on us.
judging.
No, I was going live on Instagram, and you have to physically go over to Instagram and hit go live through the platform. And when I do, I did not see the mute button. Okay, but I feel like we should at least be kudos Aimee, because I still maintained that conversation while trying to find the damn mute button. Okay, and I could feel the wrath of Russell coming on that one, but you guys, it wouldn't be a Monday morning if we weren't having some kind of issue. Like
This all makes me happy.
Yeah, right? That's fun. It is fun. But you guys, with it being November, that brings about all the holiday promotions are starting that authors can be in, right? So the biggest question I've gotten asked a lot is the 12 days of page turners. And so all of you guys that have listened, if you haven't, it's been a crazy year for me, just chaotic of craziness. And so the 12 days of page turners is going to happen in 2 days. It's going to happen December 1st and 2nd. I'm going to be live for 2 hours. And whoever wants to join me during that live to promote their books for 2 days is more than welcome to do it. How this is going to work is you can come back both days. I mean, however many people we have waiting in the waiting room, if we get through them all and you want to come back on and have another conversation, if you have 13 books, you are more than welcome to come on. I am free for 2 hours, the 1st and the 2nd, for you guys to come on, and we will market the books as what we would do for the 12 days of page turners, but in 2 days instead of 12. So food for thought. Okay, just keep that in mind. Black Chateau and Books That Make Me is doing something similar. They're doing it for 1 day. I don't know how many hours it will be. I believe it's the 6th or the 7th of December, and I will get you those. You can go on to talk about your books and the holiday promotions that you're offering for your books. Here's the thing. You have to be offering some kind of holiday promotion to take advantage of these 2 holiday opportunities. Now, if you're asking about what does that look
I'll
like,
have to talk to my publisher.
Yeah,
about
Russell has to talk to his
promotions.
publisher. I'm pretty sure your publisher is going to say you need to pick a day and be on.
Oh, she's so
Okay,
chaotic.
I
She may
think
not
they're
even
gonna say
return
that.
my emails.
Or your
Oh.
text
Well,
messages.
depends on the time. Depends on the time of day. Okay.
Right.
But what it looks like is, if you've never done the 12 days of page turners before, what it is you get access to my entire audience base. All of my platforms, all of my groups, everyone that I follow, which is about 2.1 million, is your potential reach on all of my platforms. Okay. You're going to get access to that. It's completely free. The only thing that you have to do is run some kind of holiday promotion on your book. I don't care if it's free, if it's 99 cents, if you're just doing a bundle offer, or if you're just doing, free shipping. It doesn't matter what it is. It has to be a promotion to do to get access to all of that. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So if you've never done it, that's what it is. Russell.
Yes, I have a question for you that we need to talk about after we do this introductory time, because I have a question about how you're going to run that show based upon my experience with the last 10-minute per author show that I was on.
Oh, okay. So the 12 days of page turners, I usually cap it at 50 authors. We do 50 authors in 12 days. The 12th day is all of the authors come back, or we do record every session while it's live, and we cut each author's promotion and air it on the 12th day. So everybody gets that additional day. And what it looks like is each author during those days that you were assigned would get 10 to 15 minutes to talk about your books, your promotion, what all you had going. Now, since we're going to condense it into 2 days and I'm on for 2 hours, you will still depend on how many people take advantage of it, right? You guys are the first ones hearing about it. So I haven't even marketed it yet, right? I'm not capping it at authors. We're not doing any caps. It's a free for all, right? What it looks like is you're going to get anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to talk about your books, what your promotion is, where people can get it. As long as I have links and where I can send to people, it's a well-oiled machine. I've done this for a long time. And as long as I have everything, it's simple. So the max amount of time you're going to get is 10 minutes. The least amount would be 5. So condense your pitches and all of those things. But I know Russell is laughing because it's probably going to be everybody between 10 to 15 minutes because he knows I'm not good at cutting people off.
That's actually not what I'm thinking about. But keep going. We'll get to it. We have some time left.
And Aimee, whenever I do like any kind of like presentation or something, the first thing I'm like, I put a disclaimer. I was like, I talk really fast, so I hope you guys can keep up with me. Blah, 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 blah. And so mine would probably be like 3 minutes.
Yeah, like slow down, Valerie.
Well, I know it's too much coffee.
I have a different issue. My issue is after I've listened, I've been on the sideline listening to 4 or 5 of the same vacuous pitches that I've become sarcastic and smart alecky, and I resort to making fun of not the pitchers because they're not there to defend themselves and I don't know them, but perhaps the host, like I did in the last show that I did like that, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Oh my
well,
gosh.
The good benefit for you is I would be the host, and so I can take it. I can take it and dish it back out.
I know, but it's not. So, I don't know.
But we forgot to talk about where people can find AuthorTalk. Where can we?
Well, that's because she's busy.
I know, but
I'm going through a list in my head, you guys. I'm just going through a list in my head.
I'm still working on my Monday list.
Yeah, I know. Mondays are all about lists and stuff like that. But Russell, yes, where can talk to us about AuthorTalk and everything, and then we'll dive more into holiday promotions and those kinds of things. And the weekends. We have to talk about our weekends because Russell had a pretty fantastic weekend. Yes, I'm dying to find out all your information about it.
That is so exciting.
For sure.
Well, I don't know how exciting it is. I flew to Houston to follow my grandchildren around, who are twins that are 3, and my oldest granddaughter that just turned 8. It was a magical Halloween. That's my son and his wife, who also came to follow them around. And I got to tell you, there's 2 things I have to say about this Halloween. Number one, that neighborhood had a Halloween like 50 years ago. And I hope that your kids had one of those too, where the whole neighborhood was outside. There were all sorts of adult parties going outside while the kids were going trick-or-treating, and they had decorated the houses, and the kids had a wonderful time. And I just thought it was an incredible island of beautiful family and children care in the middle of the chaos that we're living in. And it looked like to me that several other neighborhoods in Houston, because of pictures from friends that we saw, had that. And I just think that's wonderful. And I hope, Aimee, your daughters got to have that too. And the other thing is, what? Did they get to have one of those magical, wonderful Halloweens?
It was an interesting Halloween, for sure. It was interesting.
It wasn't
different.
Like something from 50 years ago?
No, it wasn't like that.
So we got to have that, or my granddaughters got to have it. It was just a beautiful neighborhood. And as you can see in the picture, I did have a beverage. So I had some numbing that I got to do as we spent it with the family. But I got to tell you, I work out like an hour and a half a day. I work out all the time. Wow. And I'm still not recovered from following those grandchildren around during Halloween. I'm exhausted.
Well, it was very humid. It was very humid here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now
it
I'm back
hot.
in Georgia where it's cold. I'm wearing a sweater. All the leaves are on the lawn like a carpet now.
Oh wow.
That's
Russell
so
gets to
cool though.
experience seasons. I love it.
Yeah, he might actually get to have to rake the yard.
No, we don't rake. But because I got to tell, I also want to thank our podcast listeners that are listening to us. Most people don't watch us during the Monday morning live show that we look forward to each week. Most people listen to our show on podcast. They do it while they're working out or driving home from work, and we really want to thank them. We hope those people that listen to us because they're authors, or they want to be authors, or they're writing a book, or they're trying to figure out what to do with their book. We hope that we give you information all the time that helps you. And it's used to be hard to find us, but it's not really hard to find us anymore because Aimee did her magical work, and all of a sudden, even I could find us. Aimee, where can people find us on the podcast?
Russell, I love it. That's not like your usual, verbiage. I love it. Yes, we do hope that we
he's
help
tired,
people.
Aimee. He's tired.
I love it.
I'm so tired.
You should be tired more often. That was wonderful. Oh, you guys, my cat is harassing us. I'm sorry.
Your cat is the best
you can
part
find
of the
us.
show.
I'm sorry. Yeah, if you hear her purring, I'm sorry. She's just super needy for some reason. But you can find us anywhere that you can find or listen to a podcast. Amazon. You guys, we got our YouTube channel back. Yes.
Yay.
I know. I was the only one.
I want to hear some of that story too as soon as we finish weekend.
Okay, we can. But you can watch us again on YouTube, all of our social media channels. My Instagram channel is where we have started going live. So you guys can go and join us over there and, engage with us. We do go live every Monday at 10 a.m., but you can find us anywhere you can listen to a podcast, right? Amazon, Spotify, Good Pods, iTunes if you're an Apple user, Google Play if you are like me and you're an Android user. But yeah, no, you guys, we got YouTube back.
That is so exciting.
Okay, tell people what happened to YouTube and then how you got it back.
Yeah, so after our show last Monday, I don't know, it was like that Friday, somehow on YouTube, our channel got flagged for nudity and sexual content, you guys, because all that craziness we're putting out there. And so they terminated our account. Like I couldn't get into it. Nobody could look at it, nothing. And I received an email. And so I appealed it, of course. And it said it took 2 days. Well, it was like Tuesday or Wednesday and I hadn't heard back. So I went on to Reddit and I was like, what do I need to do? And so they're like, just go on X and tweet them and tell them that your page got taken down. You don't understand why. I appealed it and heard nothing. You guys, I did that on like Tuesday night. Wednesday morning by 6 a.m. Central Time, that thing was back up and running. And all it took was me tweeting to them or Xing to them, however you want to word it. So we got it back. We're back in business on YouTube. Okay. And so it's, that was fun. That was one of the highlights of my week that I got it back. But no, Russell, to your point of trick-or-treating. So it was our first year trick-or-treating here in town or in this new neighborhood.
Oh, that's right. In your new neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, in my new neighborhood. So my other neighborhood, we were like, I was the queen of Halloween. Like we always had like fun family costumes. We would be walking, everybody would know who we were. It was just like tight knit. There were like a lot of younger kids. Here it was a good mix of like younger kids and older, grandparents that are passing out, like the full-size candy bars that we all love, right? We love those people. And so Russell, I'm sure you were one of those passing out full-size candy bars at some point. Yeah. So we all love them, but we went as, I'll pull up the photo so you guys can see it. But we had light up tutus on and, the girls had their leotards on and I had my outfit on and nobody could really figure out who we were. and we were the Powerpuff Girls. I wanted to light up tutus so I could see the girls at night because it started getting darker earlier. But
I was
Josh
just
is,
gonna say that because I was like, hold on, I have like a little flashback when my kids were younger, but Powerpuff Girls, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And I thought a lot of people were gonna get it, but because of their light up tutus, everybody thought that we were the 3 fairies from Sleeping Beauty. And then, Josh was just the odd man out. And so, either one works. But the girls had so much fun. They had so much candy. A lot of people in the neighborhood, and this one, they leave out their candy bowls on the front porch and they're off doing something else, and so that was different. We're used to having people like sitting outside and stuff. And then because our side of the street is still somewhat under construction, we didn't have a whole lot of people come up here. And so that was new because, everyone in the Facebook group for the neighborhood site was all like, oh, you need bags of candy. We get hit up really hard. So I had 3 bags of candy and I still have 3 bags of candy. Okay. Okay. Like I wanted those high schoolers to come by and just take a bag.
Have Josh take it to his office and put it in the office candy jar.
Yeah.
That way you won't eat it.
I should do that. Well, I can't have any of it, so I can't eat it. But, the girls really enjoyed it and they had a lot of fun. And it was, there was inventive ones. There was like the duck in the bathtub inflatable, which was cool. Oh, you guys, wait. I got to throw my Halloween party at Meadow School, and you guys know how much the PTO really loves me at Meadow
awesome.
School, right?
That's
awesome. So I got to go and do that, right? And oh, you guys. So my ideas were the biggest hit. Okay, we did musical chairs, and then instead of going all out, because I went crazy and buying snacks and stuff, I'd always go over the top. Josh will tell you that. But we had like the witches' hands out, and we had brownies out, and just different games and activities and stuff for the kids to play. And it was just smooth sailing. And then I took Meadow home and stuff, but I'll be damned if not everybody came up and just said it was so nice and I did so good and they're so excited.
I'm so disappointed. I was hoping you get in big trouble, written up, etc.
Oh, no, I did get an email later. So. Yeah, and that's definitely going to come before the Christmas party. It's definitely going to come before then. But no, I made it. I survived through that.
You made great memories for those kids because I mean, my kids had parties like that at their school, and we were like, remember when we had the best parties ever? And then they started regulating it a little bit, and we're like, oh, that's a bummer. But so
I don't remember any of that from when I was
got to go. Well, I was the mom in there, just like Aimee, like, okay, here, let's have more stuff. And we had like a whole team of us, like, okay, go get more stuff. So,
right. It was just, it was awesome. One of those things, but it was just fun. Like I had all the decorations and stuff. And you know me, I am not against going to the Dollar Tree. And I had all of my decorations from the Dollar Tree. And they were fun and they were cute and it wasn't going to break my bank account, right? And so we got to do all of those things. But every kid, when the teacher was like, oh, who wants to play musical chairs? I'm telling you, the glee in these kids' eyes was like, musical chairs, yeah. And then, they all cheat because then they all just sit down. They don't move. They like walk once or twice and they're like, I'm not getting out. So then just sit down and you can't help but laugh because it's just cute.
Or they bump somebody else out like, that's my chair.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like the greatest thing. I was the hit. Okay. I was the hit and I'm going to own it. But, it was just fun. It was fun. And I think that's like what I needed that week because it was just a really rough week for me. I have a lot of like other outside stuff going on. So that was just nice. It was kind of just nice and refreshing to have. And now I'm on countdown to Thanksgiving. I'm trying to figure Thanksgiving and all that out, which is why, the 12 days of patience are on the top of my head.
Like my calendar was like so full October. And then it's like, we're sliding to November. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have to plan, like frame my head. Like, wait, now we're going to have family. Now we're going to have holidays, real holidays, kids out of school.
You guys are stressing me out talking about this stuff.
It's a lot.
Valerie, I want to hear about your festivals that you're doing books at.
This weekend, it was destined to be really great. It was going to be at the Outreach Center. And they were going to have like DJs and food trucks and all this stuff, but the weather was not cooperating here.
It was a hurricane.
It was so bad, but I mean, say they moved everybody inside, and because there was like bouts of like no rain, but it became the people were so supportive. It was a great organization. It's a nonprofit, and but every time you go to any of these things with your books, it is the best thing to network. Even like I was telling you guys about that volunteer thing I did. I met some people networking there. I met because we had lots of time to talk. I was networking, just talking to people, sharing stories. People want to talk to you about, the book process, all these different things. So it's really great to be out and about. And sometimes you sell a lot, sometimes you sell a little, and but it's just one of those things. So
So
I'm
Valerie,
like, yeah,
so I have a question for you.
go.
So if one of our listeners wants to start selling their books at festivals the way you do, how do they get started?
I would search just different market, just like the word markets. But I usually limit mine to the fall season, maybe into February, March or so. Sometimes you can catch something in April, but never do anything outside in the summer in Texas because you'll regret your life and just it's awful. So I've lived and learned all these different things, but yeah, just do a search for markets, and there's all these ins and outs. You have to learn about markets. Some are better than others. You have to find your audience. Like if you have a children's book, don't be doing a market at a brewery. I mean, or something like that, because it might be okay, but those aren't your people. You have to go to places where
I
you're going to
should
find
do markets at
Hey,
breweries.
wait, but
and
parents are at breweries, okay? I mean, they
but
are there.
But they're
okay,
drinking.
I
but
know. So
also
they're more inclined to buy a book if they've had enough drink.
I don't know. It's just sometimes it's hit and miss. Sometimes you can do these different venues, but you have to really research your target audience and then find the markets that you think are going to, reach your people. And I've learned a lot of things that way, because sometimes you're just sitting there and then sometimes you could be selling like boom, 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 boom. And it doesn't matter, but you do meet so many people who want to know your story. And that's part of the great part of being one-on-one with your audience and your people who want to know about your books. And it's just a lot of research and a lot of preparation, and just planning your calendar for whatever season you're trying to reach out to people. I've already got like 3 or 4 markets planned for December. I've got one couple planned for November. Just as much as my schedule can accommodate. There's all kinds of things you need to know about. Some markets require insurance. Some markets require fees in advance. Some markets book up way in advance. Some they're 2 days. Just things like what can your schedule bear, your budget and your schedule bear.
Valerie, but you had talked about before, right? Like behind the scenes, I guess, before we got started, you have 2 markets in one day and you only have like 3 hours in between. How are you going to do that? Because I'm just over here like, holy crap, you have to break down your table, put it all in your car, fight Houston traffic to get to wherever you're wanting to go.
Well,
Set back up.
luckily,
So how are you going
actually
to
in
do
the
that?
2-day period, I'll be doing 3 markets in December. One will be in the Woodlands at the John Cooper
Valerie.
School. It's the Author Signature Series, which I love that event. They are super supportive of all the local authors, and so they invite you to, put your book up there to be selected to be one of the authors at this event. This will be, oh my gosh, I think this might be my 5th time or 6th time to go here. I can't remember, but over the years, but they always host a best-selling author as their featured speaker. And this year it's Lisa Jewell. And I'm super excited because I've read
Nice.
Who's Lisa
multiple books.
Jewell?
She's like a suspense author. So she's going to be the featured speaker. They've had Kevin Kwan, they've had Paula Hawkins, Gillian Flynn, Tyler Florence, Cheryl Strayed. My goodness, I don't even know. And Ellen Hildenbrand was their last time when I was there. I think that was the year before. Jesmyn Ward, all these different authors. So, and then they speak, and then all the local authors are outside in the hall selling your books to everybody who's coming to basically support literacy and reading and authors. So it's a pretty cool event. So yeah, and then but that 2 market day, one will be at a church that hasn't come, that barely came back since COVID last year. And so this will be their second year. I'll be going to that, and it's over at 2. And then another event will be not that far away at, and that one's just authors. It was I can't remember what it's an author showcase. And so a friend of mine had referred me to it. And so I was like, this is so awesome. So why wouldn't I do it? That one is like 6 to 9 or something. And the good thing is none of those are outside. So it's not too much. If you're just throwing tables and chairs and all your stuff, you already got it all in the car. Just go.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Valerie, girl, were you on one of these shows when I was talking to you, or I was talking about it? Romance, like vendor, like what is it? Like romance writer markets and those kinds of things. Having a children's book author at those events. Did I tell you about this?
No,
I want to hear
but
this.
You know
I want to hear this story. I think I don't think this was AuthorTalk.
At the John Cooper School, several years ago, and she's there every year. She is a writer who produces books for Hallmark movies. And I can't remember how many books she told me. I think she might do 2 a year, or it's at least 1 a year. But she had such a loyal following, and she just had stacks and stacks of books. And her books, and she goes, yeah, one time they just picked it up, made it into a Hallmark movie, and like boom, boom, boom. And so she just like writes like crazy. I was like, what a great opportunity. Not something you'd think that would evolve into being an author like that you could put more work out there. But tell me about your story.
But for children's book authors, I can't remember like where I heard this. I want to say that I heard this while I was at the Women in Publishing Summit and Marketing, but I feel like I heard it before then. But it was having a children's book author, right, go to romance writers like events, right? Because your target market is there, which is moms or grandmoms, right? They're there looking to buy books for themselves. But if you have a children's book there, like that's your target market. And I was like, holy crap, that's genius. Like I'm all about going to like Comic-Cons and stuff, right? Getting outside your comfort zone. But putting a children's book author at a romance con, to me, depending on the age level, we can't have picture books there and you have like dark erotic books. That's pushing it. Sure. But I think just having a children's author at a romance Comic-Con, book lovers con, whatever that looks like in your area, is genius, because that is your target market, is moms and grandmoms.
Okay, Valerie needs to test this theory. Valerie. Because there's a lot of romance organizations for authors in the Houston area. They have events. And Valerie needs to take her children's books to those one time and see what happens. I want to hear this.
I would love to do that. I just need to figure out when they are.
Well, you'll look it up the way you look everything up, because you're a reporter anyway, and you'll be able to find out. And we'll have a show after you do that. You can report back if that theory works.
You never know.
Yeah, because
you never know.
Is it RomCon is there. Book Lovers Con is there in Houston. I mean, I think these happen more like in the springtime, but I mean, those are the two big.
Yeah, she has no time during the holidays.
No,
I don't know.
No,
I can squeeze another one in.
Online stuff. No, I don't think the romance like con. So the romance promotional things for the holidays. Is they're doing Kindle stuffing. So do you guys know what that is, where you stuff your Kindle?
No.
So, okay. So if you're a romance writer, really any author, and you go and you find where your reader is in groups and Facebook groups. So I'm in a lot of romance Facebook groups. I have a lot of romance authors and I read that genre anyway. So I'm in a lot of those groups, and they do what's called Kindle Stuffathon or Kindle stuffings, stuff your Kindles, however they want to word it. And they have a ton of Kindles that are like 99 cents or free. It can be authors within that group, or just authors that they love that have agreed to participate. And it's for like a limited time. It's only for like 3 days. So they promote it in these groups and their newsletters and all of that things. And it drives massive downloads and purchases of their book for the holiday season, right? So a lot of those take place the ones that I just had for Halloween, of course, took place in October, right? But now you're going to have all the cozy romances, and any level of spice that you want is going to take place between November and December. Generally is when that's going to happen. And it's for 3 days. And it's just like, hey, you can tell them, hey, I'm going to offer my book for 99 cents. Can I be part of your Kindle stuff-a-thon? And they'll list your book in there as they promote it and send it out. So that's like one of the different holiday ones you can do. But romance, like authors do that stuff all the time, because in the romance arena, I mean, you can tie in any holiday into those things. So, I mean, they got it, of course, for Valentine's Day, and then, you know, summer, and then they have fall. And then when it starts getting really cold, which us Texans don't experience, but when it starts getting really cold and everyone's in for the winter, right? And so a lot of other genres have started doing those, but like Kindle stuff-a-thons are super popular right now.
By the way,
So
I think that's an incredible idea. I'm going to look to try to see what Kindle stuff-a-thon promotions I can get in. That sounds great.
We both could do it because we have books on Kindle, Russell.
I know, but I got to find the right organization that, I mean, I have romance in my book, but
so you could pitch it as a suspense thriller romance, and you could offer it for 99 cents.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'm interested in that. I think that's the best idea I've heard all morning, and it's like 11 o'clock.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, unless you know, like, unless you're in these groups and stuff, you don't really know about, right? Unless you're in these. And I mean, you guys know I'm a part of so many damn Facebook groups. It's insane. But, you know, a lot of them have started doing these. And that's when I'm like, man, like, how do you get in? You just tell the admin that, hey, like, I have this book, I'm going to offer it for 99 cents during your Kindle stuff-a-thon or whatever. When are the dates so I can be a part of it? And they'll let you be a part of it. They promote it. They do all of that. So, I mean, it's like, hey, why not? You're not losing out on anything to do it.
Okay, Aimee, how do listeners that are interested in that find these groups that do that?
Yeah. So when I went on a hunt to find just romance groups, right? You can type in, you know, romance readers, romance book clubs. If you're into like spicier level reads, you can do like smutty reads, smutty book club, all of those kinds of names for romance is how you can find them. You can do thriller, suspense, mystery groups on Facebook, reader book clubs, all of those kinds of things you ask to join. And it's just like with not like-minded, but readers that like to enjoy it. So one of the mystery suspense thriller groups that I'm in is they do book recommendations. So like they were like, hey, I really read this book. I really enjoyed it. I think you guys would enjoy it if you like X, Y, and Z, right? In romance, they're like, oh, I really liked the one that I've seen a whole lot recently is this Lights Out that TikTok's made famous, right? This Lights Out book. And they're like, oh, if you really enjoyed, you know, dark romance, mask play, all these things, I think you guys would really like this book or whatever. And I've seen a whole lot of those. And so if you're wanting to get in touch with your reader base and you read that genre as well, this is the way to do it, because they encourage authors in these groups to promote their own books. They highly encourage that because they want to help authors out they can, but these are people that actively are reading that genre, right? And so they're always open to those kinds of things. And so this is like the best way to, in my opinion, really build your readership and enjoy having other books recommended to you. So that's what we do. That's what I've started doing, is just doing all this. If I'm looking for a new read, or if I'm wanting to recommend an author that we're working with their book, I just join a bunch of groups. So that's what I would do.
That's smart.
It's also fun because it's like, I'm telling you, I'm not into, I don't know, like the best way to word it. So psychological thrillers, like Russell's book, is up my alley. Like they're stress relieving for me. And I know that sounds crazy, but they really are stress relieving. They challenge my mind, and I always try to predict the outcome of it. That's why I like them. And the romance ones are new for me, but oh my gosh, joining these like romance like author groups or reader groups on Facebook, I have learned that there are so many subgenres and different romance elements of books and like subgenres of romance books that I didn't even know of, and I've worked in this industry for a long time, and there were so many like subgenres of things that I had no idea. So I'm learning a whole lot in these groups too. And so it just makes it fun if you just want to kind of stay up to date and see what's trending, but like just learn something new about it because it's always changing, So it's made it fun for me. I enjoy it.
Same.
But you guys, how many of you guys, obviously Valerie's doing holiday promotion. Russell, I will be doing holiday promotions for you. I know. On top of that, you just have to show up. Just show up and look pretty. Is what you have to do.
Plus, I want to do these Kindle stuffers after Christmas. I'm going to get into that.
I'm telling you, those are a lot of fun, and we have to play with algorithms, right? Like, oh
yes.
Man, yeah.
Algorithms I believe in. They control everyone's life. Algorithms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So what are these festivals that you were, Aimee, what were these festivals you wanted to talk about that are coming up between now and Christmas? Was there something else?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, besides the 12 days ones, which we jumped into because it was on the top of my mind because I was talking to Russell about it before. But you guys know Desiree Duffy, she's doing her Jingle Bells for the Holiday Market, which is her online holiday market. But the cool thing is here in the town that I live in, and I know there's others all over, they're doing their holiday markets, and they're looking for local vendors or shops or authors, people local to that community, because they're, my small town, small businesses are really suffering. I've had a lot of abandoned buildings and a lot of things have closed down just in October. I think we had like 8 small businesses close, right? So they're doing these local holiday markets to support entrepreneurs and small businesses. And so going to these holiday markets, like I have 6 in the month of November that are happening. I mean, like that's like what, 2 every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and there's 2 every weekend to go to. And to be a vendor at these tables is insanely cheap. I think like the most expensive one I think was like $100 to be, but you could go and be the author there and promote your books. And it's at a price point where it's low enough that if you sell just a couple copies of your book, you'll at least break even, but you're getting known within your local community that probably doesn't know that they have a local author nearby, and they have no idea that they know that, right? So that's what I would recommend doing. There are a lot more of those popping up, right? You have this kids' school, like fall festivals are past, but like my kids' school is doing a big carnival. It's like their biggest fundraiser of the year, and that's in March. But like they're already putting out for these things. So if you're a children's book author looking to finding someone that that's on the PTO or the PTA, whichever way that they want to word it, at the local elementary school, and ask them to do author readings and stuff, because I've gotten hit up for if I know any authors or anyone that wants to come in and do readings for X, Y, and Z grade levels, right? And the PTO sending out to all the members of it, all the parents. And so you want to somehow get on that list or get in with them. But they're just starting to do those things too, and like finally kind of ramping up those things. And so all of those are going to feed into your holiday promotions of your books. So those are the markets I wanted to talk about, similar to like Valerie's. But it's just there's like so many happening. I think that has to be the most that have happened since I've lived here.
And then I would advise if people are trying to do these, some of these markets sell out for vendor space. If they're super popular, like things out in Katy, sometimes like big markets in Cyprus. Also, just know that if you are trying to do these things, some of the price points are higher for like 2-day markets or so. And just, like, can I really, first of all, maybe just make your money back, and then will I be able to, hopefully make a profit? And just, you got to be realistic when you're looking at these things. And again, finding your right audience for your book.
Yeah. I think the only one that I wouldn't recommend doing as an author, and I've never been to it, but I wouldn't recommend it just because of the price point to start out, is the Nutcracker Market that happens in Houston, or it used to happen. No. Please don't do that as an author. Expensive. Don't do that.
I want to tell why not? Because I got to tell you, that's probably that's like almost as big as a rodeo. It's huge.
Yeah, but But it's like thousands of dollars for your table, and
never
it's not a
mind.
it's not a guarantee that like you're gonna have that many people come to your table, because someone like me, right, that I'm paying a asinine amount of money as a ticket to get in, right? I'm gonna have a limited budget, but I'm going to look at certain things like X, Y, and Z, and then just peruse. And like, I'm honestly, no offense, I love authors, right? But I'm gonna peruse by your table because I've paid $200 or $300 to get in here. I'm going to look at what's going to make it worth my ticket, right? So that's what I'm going to look at. I'm not going for that. And it's also like an experience thing. And so I would save your thousands of dollars for that ticket and do a ton of markets like Valerie's doing that are going to be much lower price point, and you'll get more bang for your buck that way. And then if you continuously do those and you build up relationships with the people that host that market, right, you're definitely going to get more visibility and create more loyal followers that way than you will investing thousands of dollars in one market that, yeah, thousands of people go to. But it's the same as like being on Good Morning America. If you want to pay $15,000 to be on Good Morning America for like, I don't know, a 10 to 20 minute slot, yes, they get millions of views, but no one knows who you are. So you may sell 10 or 20 books, but you've invested $15,000 in that and you're not going to make your money back. So do a lot of smaller events, branch out.
And you know what else is great when you're doing these markets? The organizers of these markets will promote you because they want people to come see, you know, like, hey, we have this jewelry company, we have this t-shirt company, we have this author, we have this. And I've had people walk up and like, oh, you're the author they were talking about that was going to be here. And I was like, yes. So
That's awesome.
That's a perk of joining the smaller events also. So, and then sometimes, like you were saying, it like the Nutcracker market, if you're going to go try to be at one of these, you've got a lot of competition for people to spend their money. And, you know, they'd be like, do I really want to spend my money on that? Or do I want to go buy that sparkly sweatshirt over there, you know, or something. So, you know, sometimes when it's a smaller event too, people are like, oh, that's great. You know, I'll support you or this or that. You have more of their attention.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the best way to say it, right, it's like in something other than books, right, is like when I go to these holiday markets here locally in town, before COVID, you wouldn't see a whole lot of like tumbler designers, right? Like all the custom cups and stuff. You wouldn't see a whole lot of them. And then COVID hit, and now every market I go to, there's at least 4 to 5 of them at like every market that I go to, right? So if I was going to do that and like, you know, sell the cups and stuff that I make for myself, I wouldn't be going to these markets because it's oversaturated, right? Because then they have so many other people to pick from. And the Nutcracker market, you're going to have hundreds of other vendors. So you're competing with hundreds, if not thousands of other vendors. And
okay, I have a stupid question.
Yeah.
Does a ticket to the Nutcracker in Houston, Texas really cost $200 to go to that market?
I don't remember how much. I don't remember how much it was. I know when me and Josh were going, it was going to be like, I think it has to be like it's at least $100 to go like for the full weekend, like to a ticket like that's every day. Because I remember when we were going, I was like, I'm not spending that money to go walk my ass around the Nutcracker market, because then you have to pay for parking and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do any of that. Like that just is like a big money hole, you know, like the big money pit that I'm not going to get back. Like, no.
I want to say it might be about like 20, maybe 35. If you just want to go in and browse or shop. But and then a lot of people go in groups, and then everybody pitches in for parking and whatever. And it's more fun when you go with a lot of people anyway.
But if you are wanting to go, it is happening November 14th. If you want to go, that's the kickoff.
And you can tailgate in the parking lot and just drink and eat all your own food.
Really? People tailgate the Nutcracker market? Is that a thing?
Yes, I've done that before with my friends.
I don't believe it.
It is.
Okay, so general admission is $20. And then if you want like a premium, let's just do a premium package because, you know, if you want to be bougie, a Sugar Plum like premium package is like $800.
Well, I'm so clueless. I can't even believe it.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. Okay. It's just a crazy thing. Deal. Booth pricing. Okay. Let's do booth pricing. The cheapest booth pricing that gives you an 8-inch or 8-foot table, and it's has a skirt around it. It's a 15 by 10. 15 by 10 includes an 8-inch skirted table or 8 foot, whatever. That is $1,800 for that one table. Okay,
you know
so
where
I'm
that
just
table will
saying.
be.
I mean, you are going to be there all weekend, but you're still competing with a lot of vendors.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm all about less competition at a cheaper price point, so then you make a profit, or at least have the attempt to make your money back.
You got to commit to that. You got to commit to that. Those are very long hours. I promise you. I've done 2-day markets, and I'm like, I can do it but by Sunday you're like a zombie.
I can't even follow Halloweeners around without being exhausted. I don't know how you would do that.
I don't know. My niceness has a limit, and I'm only nice for X amount of hours a day. And generally by the time Josh gets home is when my niceness ends. That's just how it works in my household. But no. But I mean, there are a bunch of opportunities this holiday season to go and promote your books. You have to get creative with it, right? You have to get creative with it. But there are an ample amount online and in person and in your local community. It doesn't just have to be here in Texas where me and Valerie are. Russell, I'm sure that there are a ton in Georgia.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I love farmers markets. I got to tell you, between the festivals and the farmers markets in the fall in Georgia, it's crazy. And there's a writers conference in the fall, and in the spring there's a writers conference almost every weekend in some little town. It's just amazing. You could be busy all the time if you wanted to.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, you could totally do it and get your hustle on in the holidays. Because I mean, I say it all the time on the 12 days of page earners, but the best gift you can give anyone, any reader in your family, is a new book, right? Escape from reality, educate them on something if they like nonfiction books, but just to give them that release and that escape, is what I find to be the best gift you can give anybody this holiday season. And so, we wanted to talk about holiday stuff, promotions, opportunities for all of you guys that you can go out and do, and to empower you to go out in your local communities and look for all of these things and see how many of them that you can get into. But there's online ones too if you don't want to get out, if it's too peoply out in the world for you, which most days for me it is. Okay, so it's okay. You're not alone in that whole thing. But I will say that we hope you all have a fantastic Monday and a great rest of your week. Happy November, everybody. Oh my gosh, the countdown to the end of the year is upon us. So until then, we will see you all next week. Bye for now, everybody.